everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well, and in this video we are going to learn about AWS S3. This is going to be a fundamental class. We'll learn the basics of S3. So without further ado, let's start. So what is AWS S3? So S3 stands for the Simple Storage Service, and it provides the object storage. S3 is a public service, so it can be accessed from anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. S3 provides query-in-place functionality, allowing you to run powerful analytics directly on your data at rest in S3. And it is perfect for hosting large amount of data such as movies, audio, photos, text, large data sets, etc. And it is designed for developers for easier web scale computing, and you can store computer files up to 5 terabytes in size in S3. So this is about the S3. I have highlighted all the important terms in red. So in a nutshell, S3 is a public service and provides object-based storage. We can store computer files up to 5 terabyte in size, and we can access that data from anywhere in the world as long as we have an internet connection. We can access S3 using a variety of methods. The first one is through graphical user interface. Second one is command line. Third one is AWS APIs. And we can access S3 even with standard methods such as HTTPS. So these are the ways we can access S3. Let's see the S3 components. S3 has two main components. The first one is object and the second one is bucket. Let's see the object. Like, what is object? So basically, objects are the data the S3 stores. For example, images, videos, large data sets, etc. You can think about objects as files, and object in S3 is made up of two main components. So object also have two main components. The first one is object key and the second one is object value. Object key is similar to a file name, okay? And the object value is the data or the content of the object. Let me demystify with example. So we have this object, okay, that is pigeon.jpg. So that will be the object key, okay, and the object value will be the sequence of binary data that represent a pigeon. So here we have our pigeon. So the pigeon.jpg will be the object key, and this data, the binary data that represent this pigeon will be the object value. I hope you understand two components of object. Let's see the next slide. That object consists of key, the name of the object, value, data made up of a sequence of bytes. Here we can see the data. It also includes the version ID used for versioning. Metadata, object also contain metadata. That means data about the data that is stored. Access control and the sub resources. So these are the things that object contain. Let's see the second important component of S3, that is buckets. So buckets are the container for objects. All objects stored within the bucket at the same level. So this isn't the file system where you can truly have files within the folder. So make sure that you remember this point, because many people will get confused and they select the wrong option. S3 is a object-based storage, okay? It is not a file-based storage. So we cannot have the proper access level here like a file system. So make sure that you understand it is not a file system. It is a object-based storage where we store our files, or we can say objects. The bucket, and here we have our pigeon, that is our object in this case. You have to follow certain rules when you're creating the bucket in AWS S3. So the name must be globally unique across all the AWS. I have highlighted in green here. And make sure that you remember these points, because in exam they might ask you this question. So the name must be globally unique across all the AWS, and name must be 3 to 63 characters in length. Name can contain lowercase letter, numbers and hyphens. We cannot use the other special character here. Bucket names cannot be formatted as an IP address, for example 5.5.5.5 or 1.1.1.1. Make sure that you remember these 4 points when you're creating the bucket. We'll see that in a practical, don't worry, we'll create a bucket. Okay, let's see the benefit of S3. So the first benefit is it's highly durable. Okay, its durability is the first benefit because S3 provide 11 nines of durability, and it provide the low cost because we can store data in S3 in a range of storage classes. These classes are based on the frequency and immediacy you require in accessing files. In our upcoming slides, we'll learn more about storage classes. Third benefit is scalability. S3 charges you only for what resources you actually use, and there are no hidden fees or average charges. You can scale your storage resources to easily meet your organization's ever-changing demands. So S3 is scalable. Number 4 is availability. That is, S3 offers 99.99% availability of objects. So we can say these are the important features of S3 that it provides the 99.99% availability of an object and 11 nines of durability. These are the features we can also say. So if somebody say what are the features of S3, so you can use these options as well. S3 offers an impressive range of access management tools and encryption features that provide top-notch security. We have ACLs, we have bucket policies, we have encryption option as well. So it is a highly secure service. Let's see the S3 storage classes. So we have the first one is the general purpose, and in general purpose we have Amazon S3 standard storage class. Second one is unknown or changing access. So you can use it Amazon S3 intelligent tiering for your changing access. Number 3 is infrequent access. We have two options here, Amazon S3 standard infrequent access and Amazon S3 one zone infrequent access. The fourth one is archive. In archive we have three options. The first one is S3 Glacier instance retrieval. Second one is S3 Glacier flexible retrieval, previously known as S3 Glacier. Third option is S3 Glacier deep archive. So you can use these three storage classes to archive your data. Number 5 is S3 on outpost. Make sure that you are taking the screenshot of this slide because it will be really helpful in your exam. Let's see each of these storage class one by one. Let's start with the general purpose. And we have the S3 standard. It offers high durability, availability, and performance object storage for frequently accessed data. Make sure that you remember the frequently accessed data here. By default, the data that we store in S3 goes to the Amazon S3 standard general purpose plan. So it is a by default storage class in S3. S3 standard is appropriate for a wide variety of use cases, including cloud application, dynamic websites, content distribution, mobile and gaming applications, and big data analytics. So key points are it is highly available and provide low latency. Data is stored in multiple locations, so it is resilient against events that affect an entire availability zone. The durability of 11 nines and availability of 99.99% over a given year, and it is the most expensive storage class among all other. Let's see the next storage class, that is unknown or changing access. So we have the S3 intelligence tiering. So if you don't know whether you have to go for S3 standard or S3 infrequent access storage class, you can use this particular storage class, that is S3 intelligent tiering. This optimized cost by automatically moving data to the most cost-effective access tier without performance impact or operational overhead. It moves objects or data that have not been accessed for 30 consecutive days to the infrequent access tier. If the object is accessed, then it is automatically moved back to the frequent access tier. No retrieval fees or additional tiering fees are required. And it is ideal for storing long-lived data where the access pattern are unknown. Key points are it provides low latency and high throughput performance. It automatically moves the data between two access tiers. The first one is infrequent access and the second one is frequent access. It also provides the durability of 11 nines and availability of 99.99% over a given year. So small monthly monitoring and auto tiering fees are required here. Number 3 is infrequent access. In infrequent access, we have S3 standard infrequent access, or S3 standard IA, is a data that is accessed less frequently but requires rapid access when needed. S3 standard infrequent access offers the high durability, high throughput, and low latency of S3 standard, with a low per GB storage price and per GB retrieval charge. It is ideal for backups, long-term storage, and we can use it particular storage class for disaster recovery as well. Here are key points. It provides high availability and low latency, same as the S3 standard. It offers greater availability and resiliency than the one zone IA, that is infrequent access storage. It provides the 11 nines of durability and availability of 99.99%. It is less expensive than S3 standard storage, but you will be charged a retrieval fee because it is suitable for infrequently accessed data. Let's see the second storage class in infrequent access. So we have one zone IA, that is infrequent access. So one zone IA is for the data that is accessed less frequently but available for millisecond access. Since the other S3 storage class store data in a minimum of 3 availability zone, S3 one zone IA store data in only one AZ. Make sure that you remember this. One zone IA or one zone infrequent access store data in only one availability zone, which makes the cost 20% lesser than the S3 standard IA. In S3 standard IA, the data replicated to 3 availability zone, but in S3 one zone IA, our data is replicated only in one availability zone. Okay, data stored in only one availability zone. That makes cost lesser up to 20% than the S3 standard. It offers the same high availability, high throughput, and low latency. It can be considered as good choice for storing secondary backups copies or easily recreatable data if an AZ fail. So here are the key points. It provides low latency and high throughput performance. The durability of 11.9 and availability of 99.5%. Make sure that you remember our data is stored only in one AZ. Okay, that is the reason availability is 99.5%. And data will be lost if the availability zone where the data is stored is destroyed. Make sure that you remember this point as well. And it is suitable for larger objects greater than 128 KB, kept for at least 30 days. Charge minimum for 30 days. Okay, so this is about the one zone IA. In infrequent access, we have two storage class. The first one is S3 standard IA, that is S3 standard infrequent access, and S3 one zone infrequent access. Fourth option is archive. So the first storage class in archive section is Amazon S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval. It is an archive storage class that delivers the lowest cost storage for long-lived data that is rarely accessed and require retrieval in milliseconds. You can use this particular storage class if you want to access that data quarterly. You can save up to 68% on storage cost compared to using the S3 standard infrequent access, and it delivers the fastest access to archive storage with the same throughput and milliseconds access as the S3 standards and S3 standard IA storage classes. This storage class is ideal for archive data that needs immediate access, such as medical images, news media assets, or user-generated content archives. Let's see the key points. Data retrieval in milliseconds with the same performance as S3 standard. Designed for durability of 11 nines of object across multiple availability zone. Data is resilient in the event of the destruction of one entire availability zone. So our data will be safe because in this particular class, our data will be replicated to other availability zones as well. That is the reason it is AZ resilient. And it designed for 99.9% data availability in a given year. So this is about the S3 Glacier instance. Let's see the next storage class in archive section, that is Glacier Flexible Retrieval. Previous name is S3 Glacier. We all know this S3 Glacier. We can't just say this full name, that is Amazon S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval. I don't even remember this. I use it S3 Glacier. So it delivers low cost storage up to 10% lower cost than the S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval, the previous one we have just learned, for archive data that is accessed 1-2 times per year, and it is retrieved asynchronously. So this class is for if you want to retrieve the data quarterly, so you can go with the S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval. And if you want to access the data 1 or 2 times per year, so you can use this particular class, that is S3 Glacier. It is ideal solution for backups, disaster recovery, offsite data storage needs, and for when some data occasionally need to be retrieved in minutes and you don't want to worry about cost. So you can use this particular storage class at that time. Key points are, so it provides 11 nines of durability of object across multiple availability zone. Data is resilient in the event of one entire availability zone destruction. Support SSL for data in transit and encryption of data at rest. It is ideal for backups and disaster recovery use case when large sets of data occasionally need to be retrieved in minutes without concern for cost. Configurable retrieval times from minutes to hours with free bulk retrieval. It is really important to note free bulk retrievals. Let's see the next archive storage class, that is Deep Archive or S3 Glacier Deep Archive. So S3 Glacier Deep Archive is Amazon S3's lowest cost storage class and support long-term retention and digital preservation for data that may be accessed once or twice in a year. It is designed for customers, particularly those in highly regulated industries such as finance service, healthcare, and public sector, that retain data sets for 7 to 10 years or longer to meet regulatory compliance requirements. So it is really important. Like all the points are important. That is the reason I haven't highlighted in red. The key points here are, it provides the 11 nines of durability of object across multiple availability zone. It is the lowest cost storage class designed for long-term retention of data that will be retained for 7 to 10 years. It is alternative to magnetic tape libraries and the retrieval time within 12 hours. Make sure that you remember 12 hours, it's a retrieval time. Next one is S3 on Outpost or S3 Outpost. So S3 on Outpost provide object storage to our on-premise AWS Outpost environment. S3 on Outpost make it easy to store, retrieve, secure, control access, tag and report on a data, and it is ideal for workloads with local data residency requirement and to satisfy demanding performance needs by keeping data close to on-premises. And here are the key points. S3 object compatibility and bucket management is through S3 SDK, and for durable and redundant usage of data on Outpost, and S3 on Outpost will give user 48 TB or 96 TB of S3 storage capacity with up to 100 buckets on each outpost. So these are the storage classes we have. Please take a screenshot of this slide. So here is the last slide, that is point to remember. I think it is really important as per the exam. So first one is S3 is a global storage platform or S3 is a global service. S3 is a persistent, highly durable data storage option we have. and bucket names must be globally unique. So bucket limit is important. Like make sure that you remember this: 100 soft limit, 1000 hard limit per account. You can increase this number. You just have to provide the details of your workloads and everything, mail to AWS support, so they will exceed this limit as well. Unlimited object in bucket, and that the size of the object will be from 0 byte to 5 TB. S3 provide 11 nines of data durability and 99.99% data availability. Any subfolder within a bucket is known as a folder. Object consists of a key and value. The key is a name and the value is our data. The key is the pigeon.jpg and value will be the pigeon. Next is S3 is an object store, okay, not a file or block store. So you cannot mount an S3 bucket as C desktop directory. Make sure that you remember this point. It will ask in exam. Number 10 is everything is stored in a bucket at the root level. So these are the important points according to me, and make sure that you are taking the screenshot of this particular slide. So I have already logged in to my AWS account, as you guys can see here, and you just have to search S3 in the search bar and you will see this service. S3 is here. Click on that. Store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. So let's create the bucket. You just have to click on this create bucket button and you have to provide the bucket name. So we'll write first bucket and make sure that the bucket name is globally accepted. You have to write the globally unique name and must not contain the spaces or uppercase letter. So we are not using any uppercase letter and spaces here. First bucket 88 and the AWS region is Asia Mumbai. I am okay with that. If you want to change the region, you can change it. We have different region option available here. Okay. Object ownership, ACLs are disabled and it is recommended. Block public access setting for this bucket. We are blocking all access here. Just leave it as it is because we are not going to give the public access in this video. Bucket versioning, we'll see that in our next video. Now it is disabled. Default encryption is also disabled. Now let's create the bucket. Okay, the first bucket 88 is globally accepted. Just click on it and here we have the option objects. So objects are the fundamental entities stored in the Amazon S3. You just have to click on this upload button and click on add files. In downloads I have this AWS thumbnail, so I'm going to open it. Okay, let's upload this file. Okay, now it is succeeded. Close it. Click on it, AWS thumbnail.png file, and open it. Okay, this is the thumbnail. So we have stored the file, right? Now we have to retrieve the object. So let's go to the object here. Click on a object that you want to retrieve, and here we have this download option. Just make sure that you are clicking on this download option. Okay, this particular file is downloaded. That's cool. Now let's delete the bucket. Okay, click on this bucket option. Check this bucket, first bucket 88, and delete. This bucket is not empty. Bucket must be empty before they can be deleted. So first we have to delete the object of the bucket. Go to the bucket and here we have our object, that is AWS thumbnail. Delete. Okay, we have to write permanently delete, copy it, delete objects. You can select all if you have too many objects in a bucket. Let's close it. Now let's go back to buckets, select the bucket and delete. Here we have to write the name of the bucket. Our bucket name is first bucket 88, delete bucket. Okay, so we have successfully deleted the bucket and we have completed this tutorial, that is store and retrieve a file with Amazon S3. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. If you did, then please share this video with your friends and your colleagues who are preparing for AWS Solution Architect exam and AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel. We'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning. Bye bye.